A or B. It's not the binary solution to this. Is it most certainly spans this spectrum of this hockey and people getting along and coming together to enjoy something and watch something. It's beautiful, and and I really hope that some of these people who go to these games are sharing these moments together, and they're getting up and cheering when their team scores, and it's great. But this is the positive side of the scale, and like most certainly as you slide back, things get a little bit away towards this. And I don't know if I have an example for this, but I wonder what this middle ground is. Maybe it's the middle ground is roofing companies kind of trying to outbid each other for this job, and on this other side of this scale of competition is you probably get a little bit towards some very shady things of people making sure their goods are coming to them in a really low and cheap manner, so democratic governments are overthrown and have dictatorships placed in them, and like the competition has most certainly now deprived people of their life, freedom, happiness, anything like that. But to go from people enjoying a hockey game to a dictatorship is, these are only just an arc of this that I've just given, but what a fucking thing of madness like that this is. But I think that some competition is absolutely good, and just so long as it's healthy and happy and people are abiding by the rules is absolutely, we need it. But we need cooperation also quite a little bit more than the competition. Like the competition should be the thing that is happening under the umbrella of cooperation, because when competition starts to surpass under this umbrella of cooperation, I feel that it can run off to other things which are dangerous and poisonous for people in our society. And it's kind of surprising sometimes where these roads can lead off to, and we kind of don't all kind of have a hand in guiding one another. It's quite strange.
Yeah. Well, with that, we're officially live, although we're not actually live. It's just recording.
Yeah, welcome everybody.
Yeah.
It's Taran's Rite Some Good.
Rate some good.
Rite Some Good podcast. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks. This is number 7 with Peter Hansen himself. Hansen.
Yeah, oh, thank you. I'd like to begin by saying that I can't remember what episode he was on, but I want to say that I can beat up Dylan's dad, and we'll see how that goes for me in the near future here. But I'm willing to play the cards on this. Dylan, come at me. But please don't. I love you. But I was reading something, just thinking about this. I'm really off on a tangent here, but let's just see where she goes. Quite some time ago, I think it's when the Muslims were trying to storm the city of Constantinople, and they had all of these this massive array of cannons that they brought there, and they spent like months just bombarding this city, and they had these massive fortifications that were out there. And as this bombardment continued and some of these assaults were coming in, as situation gets pretty dire, but they used this spirit of competition found in the city between sporting teams to help keep this city going. And it's in this way of like the city now has a very clear understanding of who they are and what they need to accomplish. So chariot racing in this city at the time was the big thing. And I think it was there was a red and a yellow team, and these fans are like die hard, like take whatever you think soccer fans are like pretty hard, like leave that concept behind. Like there was the riots they'd have over these things when like team lost, or like celebrations were amazing. But what these two teams did is these teams left the chariot racing arena and they went to the fortifications, and these two teams would be racing against each other along with their fans to rebuild these fortifications as they were being knocked down, because they said, we need to keep these fucking walls up, man. Like, we gotta hold out, and because we don't really know what's gonna happen if these walls come down and this other army comes pouring through. Is we need to keep our safety and security and our prosperity and our lives intact, and
keep the culture going. That's amazing, man. It's a lot like when we're on the roof and maybe James and I getting a little race, you know.
Yeah, get a little race going on.
And it's great because we're all cooperating for a common goal to get this roof done, say. But within that goal, all of us are trying to be the man who made it happen, you know?
Yeah.
And we're racing each other and competing against each other. But it winds up... The competition amongst us results in the roof getting done faster, better, more efficient.
Totally.
And so the competition benefits all of us. It benefits the company. It makes the company itself competitive in the marketplace, and people are going to get a good product. And because it's actually insane how often just, you know, couple of drinks contracting shows up and completely fucks
phones it in.
It's unreal, and people spend tens of thousands of dollars on roofs or renovations or whatever the case may be, and get completely screwed over. I mean, there's a TV show called To Catch a Contractor.
And thank God they're out there, man, because we need those guys catching those people.
And those people aren't playing the game right. They're just doing nothing but increasing they skew the whole world a little closer to evil, you know. But I guess this whole conversation we're having and my personal stance on the matter is that competition and cooperation are present pretty much all the time, and it's hard to separate.
People say every action that you take throughout the course of your day is navigated through the path of cooperation or competition, and I think it's pretty interesting, and I almost think like a parallel is a pretty interesting parallel is this story of Constantinople being under siege and needing these walls rebuilt. But
that's a great story.
Is the roof is someone's health, safety, and happiness, and their home. Like once the roof is off, they're in jeopardy, and they need people to come and save them. And
well, the amount of repairs we were running all over the place doing after that exact thing happened because of the windstorm, and mind you, too, most of the repairs we were doing were. Not all, but I'd probably guess 70 to 80% of them were the result of shoddy roofers not doing it properly.
Oh, no nail lines done. But I think about is this 3 levels of like thinking and like analysis, dissection. Is like the tactical, operational, and logistical. Is the tactical is like we got these guys on this roof racing to get this done, but that's the tactical, get the shingles on, work it up, get the all the prep too. But the operational is this woman in this house who needs her roof done and is looking at this company, and the logistical is the boss man looking at, I need these shingles to come in by this time, and I need my guys to be on site by this time, and I need the contract to be signed so we can get in there and do work so that I'm protected by this contract, and I have some protection for the homeowner, so we have a legal agreement that we can come to, because it really is the the agreement does protect the homeowner and the business owner. Like holy moly, man. But I don't think it's necessarily, even though I draw this comparison as us racing up to get this job done faster so that this person is now under a new roof and they're not going to have their stuff rained on, but to kind of draw a little bit, it seems a little bit ludicrous to be drawing a little bit of a comparison between that and having siege ladders come up to your walls and having to kick them off. Like, we're almost certainly not up there trying to...
Well, it falls into... I kind of imagine it like a spectrum. There are parallels to be drawn, certainly. I mean, but definitely it's not that intense. That's not...
Yeah, get the fuck... Yeah, we really want the ladder to come up, but no, we're not trying to push them down.
I mean, goddamn, I would like to think we would have a hell of a fire under our ass if our city was being laid siege upon. But, damn, that's just so gnarly. I just, like I was mentioning earlier, I think you were talking about some other kind of historical conflict before we started recording, but it's just... And I get this... I get this kind of awareness when I listen to Jocko Willick's podcast too, because he's an ex-Navy SEAL and talks about warfare lots and battle, and he reads books and he has old veterans on too, like pilots from Vietnam and stuff. And the situations these human beings would find themselves in, I have absolutely zero frame of reference for. I can't imagine. I nothing in my life that I've ever experienced, it all pales in comparison to active warfare on the front lines. It just boggles the mind. And then you hear about these stories of men, mostly men, I'm sure there's women through history too. In fact, my girlfriends have been enlightening me quite a lot about the history of women, female Viking warriors. Man, you would not want to tangle with any of them.
No, yeah.
But these human beings, I'll say, in situations that just, again, you're left absolutely aghast to imagine, and yet remaining composed, remaining calm and centered, and being able to lead their men through to victory. And it is astonishing. And then I think about the things that I encounter in my everyday life that make me feel like I'm not going to make it through this, or I'm not going to pull this off, or I can't do this. And it just makes me feel like, holy shit, it's just, I probably have no idea what I'm capable of. And I don't want to sound boastful or naive, or I don't want to overestimate my capacity for things. But for me, those stories are inspiring because those are other human beings in those situations, and they are able to persevere. And so I'm a human being, and so I feel like I must have that within me. And so basically what I take away from it is that I'm perfectly capable of handling whatever comes my way. And even if I'm not, I don't see how the opposite perspective is useful in the midst of a stressful situation. There's no time to think to yourself, oh goddamn, if only this wasn't happening, I sure wish I was just at home right now, or whatever. You gotta handle it. You gotta just handle it. And so hearing these stories of these people handling these crazy situations, I mean, it's tricky because people don't typically like themselves very much, but I just think we're all capable of so much more than we can wrap our head around, because we just simply haven't seen the experience, so we don't know.
Yeah, it's quite amazing what happens, like when I think about some stuff of like hearing these situations and going like, holy crap, man, I don't know if I could handle that. But it's quite amazing what you can do when adrenaline starts pumping and you really realize like, this is the situation that I'm in, like starting to become truly aware of when those rounds start coming in. Or I read a story about this bomber crew who are piloting this it was a B-20, one of those flying fortresses, and they're over Germany, and they're going to go and bomb Hamburg. And as this plane is coming up close to the city, as they start coming under this flak fire, and these Messerschmitts are starting to come up to intercept them, and these guys are really close, and they're like, hey, like, bombardier, get ready to, like, basically drop indiscriminate death onto this city.